Hello and welcome back to Friday Night Magic here on StephenPlays. On the last episode, we finished off the Oath of the Gatewatch DLC. Since that time, the Kaladesh expansion has been released, although that is not what we are jumping into today. The next thing that we are jumping into is Shadows over Innistrad. The battle for Zendikar is over, but the questions remain. The Planeswalker Sorin Markov once helped contain the Eldrazi. Why was he not there to fight them this time? Join Jace Beleren as the search for answers begins on Sorin's home plane of Innistrad. Waka waka doo doo, yeah, same deal. We've got 5 weeks of Shadows over Innistrad, so I hope you're excited for vampires and werewolves and ghouls, oh my. Let's get started, shall we? Among Innistrad's dark mountains, Jace Beleren begins his search in the one place on the plane that he knows, the home of his ally, Liliana Vess. But his path is fraught with danger, and Jace soon finds a cold welcome at the hands of a pack of werewolves. Also, that art is pretty awesome. Jace is riding a horse and is being attacked by werewolves, and he's got a glowing blue hand. That's how you know he means business. Jace versus the werewolves. I also like how everything's nice and blue. It's pretty. Alright, so what we got? We got Island. Phantasmal Bear, which is a 2/2 Bear Illusion creature. It's a 2/2 for 1, which is great, except when it becomes the target of a spell or ability, you must sacrifice it, which makes it a little less great. We've also got a 7/7 Flyer. That's pretty big. Stormgeist's power and toughness are each equal to the number of cards in your hand. Oh. Whenever Stormgeist deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's pretty neat. Claustrophobia. Enchantment creature enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. And then another one of those. Yeah, this is good. Opponent plays first. We have a Phantasmal Bear to put out first. Yeah, we have something to build up to. Yeah, let's do it. Let's see what you got, werewolves. Werewolves are green. Or at least green. That could be another color. It's our turn, and we got... What is that thing? Press for answers. Sorcery for 2. Tap target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Okay, that seems to be a theme. Also, investigate, which means put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield that says, pay 2 and sacrifice this artifact to draw a card. That's pretty neat. So you get some added value out of tapping something. Let's start with an island and move on to the bear. Neat. At least we can get some damage in. So we're done here, and we move on to the werewolves' turn. Okay, they're also playing red. Red and green. They go to the main, and they play Hinterland Logger. Human werewolf 2/1. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform the Hinterland Logger. Fun, and it becomes the Timber Shredder, which is a 4/2 trample. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player casts 2 or more spells last turn, then transform the Timber Shredder. Fun! So basically how it works is it plays it this turn. If on my turn I didn't play any cards, then that 2/1 would become a 4/2 trample, which sucks. Now if it was the 4/2 trample and on my turn I played at least 2 spells, then it would transform back into the 2/1. It sucks, basically. Now the advantage is I'm probably going to play a spell, and I am, because I got this thing, Fog Bank, which is a 0/2 defending flying wall. Prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to and dealt by Fog Bank. Good. Very, very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this onto the field. Now because I have played a card, I've played a spell, that creature will not transform. Although I'm going to swing at it and try to provoke it and kill it because the transforming guys suck and I hate dealing with them. It elects not to block. And as such, I do 2 damage straight to the werewolf's face. My turn is over. Let's see what you got, werewolf. Okay, you got 3 mana. Definitely not swinging because I've got this fog. What is this? Howlpack Wolf. 3/3, it can't block unless you control another wolf or werewolf. Okay, well, this is a werewolf. It is both a human and a werewolf, so it can block. Huh. What? Let me see that again. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see that again. Can't block unless... Okay, well, it can block. That sucks. Island. Okay, let's put that in. It's saying claustrophobia. What are my other options? Jace's scrutiny. Press for answers. Yeah, I would say claustrophobia is probably a pretty dang good idea. We could claustrophobia the pack of wolves, and then I could continue to attack with the bear. Yeah, yeah, I say let's do that. We could also claustrophobia this thing, then if it transformed it wouldn't matter. But if we do that, I can't attack. And attacking seems like a pretty good thing right now. So let's shut up these wolves. And I've played a spell, so the guy still won't transform, which is good. Then let's attack for 2. If I can bait them into blocking at some point, that'd be awesome. Because then the wolf pack couldn't... Because then the wolf pack won't be able to block. Of course, it doesn't matter because they're claustrophied. Is that a word? I just invented it. Okay, I can't do anything, but neither can they. Nice little stalemate we got going on. Let's see what you got. Solitary Hunter. 3/4 human warrior werewolf. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast, transform it into a what? Into one of the pack, which is a 5/6. Good. Wonderful. I have another claustrophobia. And I am not afraid to use it. Okay, got an island, which we definitely want. Costs 5 to get that guy in, and he's getting weaker by the minute because I'm playing my hand, but it is what it is. We do have to play something, or that thing is going to become a problem. It doesn't necessarily have to be claustrophobia. I don't absolutely have to use this right now, because I can't attack anyway. That's better used on their turn, but I have to play something. If I don't play something on my turn right now, it's going to transform. And that's bad. That's very bad. What do I want to do? I think I'll use press for answers. I think that seems correct. Of course, you know what? It doesn't really matter, does it? It really doesn't. It doesn't matter if this guy transforms or not. I have a wall. Maybe I should just wait. There's no harm in waiting. It can't do anything else to me. And I don't really want to feel like I'm wasting my stuff. Plus, if worse comes to worse and he transforms, I could play both of these cards together and it'd transform back. Then I could also shut it up later. I think I'll do nothing. I don't have to be so concerned with getting stuff done. It's saying that I should use claustrophobia, and I understand why, but there could be a greater threat coming. Yeah, I'll just chill. Plus, I want to save cards because it'll make Stormgeist better. So we'll just chill. That means it's going to transform, and I understand that. It's a 5/6. Get a Rootbound Crag in. You can play pretty much anything you want at this point. See, he's not going to attack, because he can't. Convicted Killer. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast, transform it from a 2/2 into a 4/4. A lot of transform cards in Innistrad, which is not something I'm particularly happy about, especially since I don't seem to have access to any of them. Speak of the devil. I got a Human Insect Flyer. At the beginning of your upkeep, put the top card of your library into your graveyard. If it's an instant or sorcery card, transform this thing, and it transforms from a 3/2 flyer into a 5/4 flyer. And it doesn't transform back. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice indeed. So what do I want to do here? I gotta decide. I didn't get more land. Now I can block this guy with my fogs. That's really not that big of a deal. And as long as I play something, the 2/2 won't transform. Okay. Then I'll put this in. I'll just hold on to my other stuff. So this comes in, and he has the possibility of getting quite big next time. I can't attack because my only creature that's not summoning sick is a defender, so we move on. The werewolves now have 6 land. Of course, these guys are coming at me, which is understandable. I'm not going to lose my 3/2. That seems like a terrible choice, but I'll block the 5/6. I'll take the 2 damage. It's not going to mean much to me. It also finally puts us on equal terms, right? Now we're 18-18. Alright. Okay, he did not cast any spells. And because the werewolves didn't cast any spells, that thing turns into a 4/4. Now, this ability was, if it's an instant or sorcery card, transform the researcher. It wasn't. You can see that I just put this island in there, but if it would have been, then I would have got something sweet. Alright, Phantasmal Dragon. It's a 5/5 flyer, but whenever it becomes the target of a spell or ability, you have to sacrifice it. But I'm starting to amass a little army of stuff that can deal with problems, and that seems pretty important. So I'm happy with this. This isn't the end of the world. Not by a long shot. Trying to decide exactly how I'm going to do this. The wall can block one, this guy can block the other. Seems fine. Let's put the dragon in. Now, if he gets targeted by anything, he has to be sacrificed, but hopefully that won't happen. I'm going to go ahead and swing with the 3/2 because there's nothing to stop me and I have a plan for next round. So this guy's going to go through, 3 damage, he's down to 15. 3/4 of his health, which is nice. Let's see what the werewolves do now. Gonna swing, not gonna swing. But you've got a lot of land. You only have 1 hand card, and now you have none. It's a Gatstaff Arsonist. 5/4 human werewolf, that's already huge. If no spells get cast, this thing gets transformed into a 6/5 menace. Menace meaning that the creature can only be blocked by 2 or more creatures. Gross. So yeah, that's kind of a problem, but the thing is, you don't got no more hand cards. This ability activates. Is it a sorcery? It was not. It was a creature called an Uninvited Geist. It's a funny little play on words there. What did I draw? Pour over the pages. It costs 5. It's a sorcery. Draw 3 cards, untap up to 2 lands, and then discard a card. That's pretty cool. I'm a fan of that. I don't have enough land to play it, but it's still a pretty cool card. Let's see what my plan here is. We got a 5/4, a 4/4, a 5/6. So we're starting to get some problems. Starting to get some problems indeed. Now, if I could manage to play 2 spells, things would go back to normal, but I don't have 2 spells. This thing is going to be a problem, though. If I don't play anything, it transforms, but even if it doesn't transform, it's a problem for me. It's a big dude. I think it'd be in my best interest to go ahead and use Claustrophobia on that thing. Seems like a pretty good move. But in the meantime, I can go ahead and swing with, in the air with my 3/2. Yeah. So we'll go into the attack step. And I will swing with my 3/2. It's saying to swing with both. And I disagree so much because I'm going to Claustrophobia their 5/4. They're going to be left with the 5/6 and the 4/4. My wall can block the 5/6. My 5/5 can block the 4/4. But this guy will attack, and he will be the only one. Let's go ahead and get that swing in. So he's down to 12, and I feel pretty good about it. Kind of a slow game. It's kind of just taking it easy and being very, very careful. Now in my second main, I do have some options, and the one I have chosen already is Claustrophobia. I'm going to use Claustrophobia on this guy, so I don't have to deal with it anymore. Done. Alright. Now we go over to the werewolf's turn. I've still got 2 creatures to block their 2 creatures. Another Rootbound Crag. You're out of ammunition, buddy. Whereas I'm just getting started. So he transforms into a 6/5, but it doesn't matter. And I had a Telling Time, which is an instant for 2. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of those cards into your hand. 1 to the top of the library and 1 to the bottom. But that was an instant or sorcery, so my guy transformed. So now I've got some big dudes, and he can't transform back, which is nice as well. Let's put the island in. The Stormgeist will only get stronger, but there's really no reason to wait, honestly. Draw 3 cards, untap up to 2 lands, and then discard a card. Huh. The correct order, I think, would be to play this, because he's summoning sick. So he's not going to be able to attack this turn anyway. If I use this and the next turn play this, I'll get even more hand cards, and then this guy will be able to swing for even more. Seems like a pretty good plan to me. Let's go ahead and put this in. Alright, so it's just a 3/3 for now. Just a baby. Just a little baby. But I've already got some blockers, so things are good. I'm going to swing with this guy, and that's all for now. 5 damage takes him down to 7. I'm feeling pretty good about this match. Blue is all about control. I know we've talked about that in the Magic Duels LP proper, but I'm really controlling the game. They want to, you know, swing at me and do this, put this guy out, and I'm like, no, we're not doing that. That's not the way we're playing. It's a little unusual that he's chosen to attack. It makes me think that maybe he's got something up his sleeve, but maybe not. Just in case, we'll go ahead and block with the wall. And nothing happens. Interesting. What do you got in your hand? What do you got in your hand? I guess we'll never know. At least until next time. Alright, so I have drawn an uninvited Geist. Alright. But that's not what I really want to do right now. This is still my best bet. That's going to make that 4/4 on the field much, much more powerful. Okay? So we do this. We draw 3 cards. Choose a land to untap. That one and that one. Confirm. And choose a card to discard. What is it that we want to get rid of? Uninvited Geist. When uninvited Geist deals combat damage to a player. Oh wow, that's an interesting ability. This creature can't be blocked by creatures with greater power. That's funny. And then it becomes a 3/3, which can't be blocked at all. Also, that's horrifying. Horrifying art. We've also got another flyer. And an island. I think at this point, we don't really need Jace's scrutiny. I think we're handling ourselves pretty well, so I think I'll get rid of that. So right now, we have a 5/5 flyer, which is pretty fantastic. Now, we could play this island. But if we play the island, our 5/5 flyer becomes a 4/4. So why don't we go to the attack step first? Makes a lot more sense in my opinion. Alright, oh, it's letting me know that I can win the game. I guess I overlooked that. We controlled the crap out of this game. Swing for win. They don't have any hand... Oh wait, they do have one hand card, don't they? I guess it was kind of dumb. I forgot they had a hand card. And you might be saying, well, what could they have done? Well, about that, they could have played Fog. Fog is a single cost. It's instant. It's a instant for 1 green mana, or green mana, 1 green mana, and it just prevents combat damage. And if they would have played that, all my guys would have been tapped, and then they could have probably swung for possibly 18 damage. Maybe not. Some of their guys are have claustrophobia on them, but still, I probably should have paid attention that there was still 1 card. Regardless, we won. It's fine. Jace implores Liliana to help him unravel the mystery. She rebuffs him, far more concerned with her own pursuits, of the demons that still held power over her, and of the Chained Veil. She points him to Soren's home at Markov Manor, but she offers no other aid. Also, that's a really interesting picture. Like, I can't imagine just being surrounded by zombies and being like, yeah, this is fine. This is all good. But I guess that's Liliana for you. Alright, so, we did it. We, apparently this entire thing is going to be playing as Jace. And, I'm actually okay with that. Blue is fun. Blue is fun when you have control. And that was definitely a game where we had control. They had big creatures, but we told them, nah, I'm good. And used claustrophobia on them, and then they were just stuck. And it's a lot of fun to see your opponent get all excited about something that they've done and then be like, actually, no. And that is Blue's power. That's it for today. Thank you so much for watching. But don't miss next week's episode when we return for more Friday Night Magic.